All right, this is Coach Smith. Good evening, y'all. Just getting all my live connection set up. One second, it's Coach Smith going live on all my platforms here. Good evening, folks. Good evening. Good evening. This is Coach Smith. We're gonna go live. How's it going this evening? How's it going? This is Coach Smith with Love the Game 24/7. Appreciate everyone joining me this evening. Trying to make some space here for all my connection. Natalie, how's it going? I see you, Latasha. I see you, sister. Connecting with one of your old neighbors back in the day, growing up, right? Yes, ma'am. All right, my sister. Appreciate you joining me. You and Miss Natalie going live just to have a conversation, give some update information for all these student athletes out there trying to make that dream happen of playing at the next level and trying to go as far as they can, as far as their sport will take them. And so I'm on my IG live, I'm on my Facebook live, and I'm on my YouTube live. And then my brother tries to call me while I'm on my live. Never fails. He does that all the time. I get a call from him trying to get updates on stuff, which is cool. But we're just gonna have a little conversation tonight, get a little update on what's going on with Coach Smith and what's coming. I want to just share with my followers. Be sure you hit the like, subscribe, whatever it is, follow. You know, you can go to my link tree and get all my social media platforms that I'm on, that I'm connected. I see you, Chanson. Thanks for joining. Tell your friends, family, anybody that has a student athlete next door, down the street, in your house, in your circles. What's up, Chanson? What's up, my sister? Appreciate you popping in and checking on me and checking out my soon to be regular podcast. I'm going to be starting some of that soon. I'm going to be getting ready to do a free webinar for student athletes and parents. Start dropping a few little gems as I prepare to as I'm preparing my digital course to help student athletes and parents through the recruiting process. I'm working on that. But prior to me releasing that, we're going to be doing some free webinars on a regular basis. So that's some information I'm sharing tonight with some folks who need to get their student athlete. Hey, if you got a grandson, granddaughter, son, daughter, family friend, neighbor, and they're middle school to high school age, and they need some help. Yep. Telling all parents and student athletes. Thanks, Chanson, for popping in and connecting. We'll talk. And but yeah, so I'm in the process of getting all that prepared. So be sure you tell as many people as possible to get in contact with Coach Smith. I'll even share a little story that just happened today. Can y'all see my photo in the background? Let me see. That's a photo that a friend of mine painted back in college, back in some of my glory days in college, playing college football. She painted that for me up in Sioux City, Iowa. I'm heading back there this weekend to Sioux City, Morningside College, where I played Division II football. I'll be heading there this weekend. All right, appreciate you joining me. What do we got there? MD. I can't see. Let me move it up. All right. My Digi runner, appreciate you joining me. I'm waving at you. Thanks for joining. And I won't be long tonight, but I just want to get on here and share some exciting news, information, what's happening with Coach Smith and Love the Game 24/7. Dropping some great information, and you want to be sure you share with all those student athletes and parents that you know out there. And they can, like I said, go to my link tree and get all my social media platforms, my link tree. You can go, it's Love the Game 24_7. So Love the Game 24_7 is my link tree platform that you can get all of my social media platforms. Hey, Jody. Good. Glad to have you joining me. I was just sharing, I'm heading back to Sioux City. I'll talk a little more about that in a minute. Heading back to Morningside. Morningside College is now Morningside University. And I'll be heading back there this weekend, meeting up with some old college classmates and teammates. But I just want to take a little bit of time tonight. I'll go ahead and get started. But as I said, I'm on Facebook, IG, and YouTube right now. So if you have anybody that has a student athlete next door to you, down the street, in your house, family friend, grandson or granddaughter, son or daughter, and they're a student athlete, middle school age to high school, working with those student athletes and parents to help them navigate through the recruiting process. And it definitely starts by the time they get in junior high school. You want to start in junior high. So a lot of people don't realize that. You want to start exposing your student athlete, male or female. My program, even though you may hear me reference football mostly, but my recruiting program, digital course that I'll be releasing, will work for any student athlete, male or female, any sport. So a lot of people are just not up on some of this. and some of the parent involvement needs to be get picked up as well. And so I'm going to just share a little bit tonight. So let me just let you know, this is Coach Smith with Love the Game 24/7. For those of you, some of you all know on here, know me, and some of you might not. And even if you do know me, just want to share that I have a background in playing college sports and playing football at every level, from little league to high school, college, and professional. And so that's my background. I've coached high school sports, football and track over a decade, and working with student athletes and parents through recruiting. Also been blessed to help several uh, young student athletes get to college and play football mainly. I've had even a couple of kids I worked with that went off to school to run track as well, track and field. And so that's my background. I have a son that's currently playing in the NFL. He was blessed to play at every level, and I coached him until he went off to college. And he's currently with the Arizona Cardinals right now, getting ready to start his 5th season in the NFL. So just to give you a little bit of background about who I am and what I'm uh, able to do to help assist student athletes and parents with the recruiting process. And so that's what Love the Game 24/7 is all about. You got to love the game 24/7, and you got to do what it takes 24/7 to get you where you want to be in your sport. I don't care if it's lacrosse, I don't care if it's soccer, track and field, um, field hockey. It doesn't matter. You got to love that game 24/7. I don't even care if it's on the rowing team. Um, but yeah, this is one of my pictures in the background back in college that someone painted for me. But so that's what I'm about. Coach Smith is all about, is assisting those student athletes. Um, I'm going to be giving a free webinar in a couple of weeks, and I'll be dropping the date and time soon on that free webinar that I'll be giving here real soon. So you want to get the word out to those people you know, like, follow, and subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, um, and IG. And like I said, go to Linktree, Linktree, and my Linktree name is Love the Game 24_7. That's Love the Game 24_7 for my Linktree to get to all my social media platforms and to see any videos out there that you need to get caught up on, and follow me and subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on IG, TikTok, and Facebook. My Facebook group page is Love the Game 24/7. Want to get out there and partner with me on that as well. But I just want to be sure I let you know in 2 weeks, I will be doing a free webinar. And so in the next several days, I will be dropping a date and time that I will be doing that free webinar. And you need to get the folks on there who have, that to have kids in middle school age, right? Starting in 6th grade, 5th grade, going into 6th grade. Get those parents and people on here. When I drop that date and time that I'll be doing that free webinar and going over some information and more in depth about Love the Game 24/7 and what I'll be doing on a regular basis, and doing a podcast and doing free webinars as I'm working on releasing my digital course to help get more and more deep into what I'm doing with my digital course. That'll be available for purchase, and people will be able to get that potentially at 50% or more off for those early folks who sign up. But I'll give more of that information when I do my free webinar. And so I just want to drop that news that I will be doing a free webinar coming up. Okay. And it's going to be some good information, some great information for student athletes and parents. The other thing is I'm excited because I'm going back to Morningside College, where I played college football this weekend. One of my former teammates is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I played football. I did football and track. What's up, Fish? Coach Fish. Me and Coach Fish used to coach together back at CCC. Yes, sir. Let's see if I can get you on here, Coach. Let's see. Let me invite Coach Fish on here. Let me see. Hold on, Coach. Is that coming through? Is that loud here? Hold on. Let me see if I can. What's going on? Okay, I got you. Oh, Felicia, girl, what's up? I had the wrong person. I see you like the name Fish, Felicia. Okay. Hold on. Trying to get you on here, Felicia. I don't know why it's not what's not working. Something's not working. Hold on. All right. Felicia, try to for some reason it says you're unable to join. I hit accept. And then it says go live with FHSH 1992. All right, yeah, for some reason Felicia is not letting it's not working, so I'm not sure what the deal is.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Oh, okay, so I guess it was.
I'm outside. I was walking.
Oh, okay, so maybe it was a connection thing. How are you doing?
That's why you can. I'm fine. That's why you can't see me.
Okay, yeah, you out there in the
I'm
dark,
sorry.
getting that
I
walk
didn't
on.
mean to impede on your thing there. I just wanted to say hi. I saw you online live.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it's good to see. Tell your hubby I said hello.
I will.
Are
I
you
will.
you guys
All right.
still
I'm not gonna keep. Huh?
you guys still in St. Pete?
No, no. We up in Largo, Clearwater now.
Oh,
We don't
okay,
live in St. Pete.
okay, you're in Largo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Yes.
Well,
Mhm.
good. All right.
Yep. And
Well,
we're both retired now.
oh wow. All right. All right. That's good. Well, y'all gonna have to make a trip up to North Carolina and visit us then.
I know. That's what I was telling them. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah.
absolutely. I have to tell Lenise that you that I got you on for a few minutes here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let
Well,
her know. Tell her I said hi.
yeah, I will. Yeah, we'll connect. You guys got to come up here and visit.
All righty.
You'll love it, definitely. Okay. Well,
Okay.
good. Get that
Take
exercise
care.
in. I see you still doing
I
getting
will.
your workout stuff going. That's good.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. Gotta keep
Okay.
it going.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care. All right. That was Miss Felicia, good friends of ours back home in St. Pete, and good to have her on for a little bit there. But as I was saying, I'm getting ready to head back to Morningside to do a Hall of Fame celebration for Anthony Fieldings, teammate of mine. He was a couple of years behind me, but quite a few people are coming back in town, and I'm gonna be up there, help celebrate his Hall of Fame induction to Morningside Sports Hall of Fame. Excited for him. Anthony is from Central Florida area, Eustis, Florida. Um, he Hey Salama, good to have you. Game winning athlete. Yeah, make sure we check out Salama, game winning athlete on IG. Yes, she's a sports therapist, mind coach, and also sports massage therapy. Um, Sister got all kind of skills, so make sure you check out Game Winning Athlete for those athletes who need to go through some uh, techniques with mental toughness, mental positivity. Salama with Game Winning Athlete who just joined. Be sure you follow her, like. Absolutely good to have you. Um, but yeah, it's going to be an exciting weekend this weekend. Going back to Sioux City. That's the name of. You guys heard of Sue Bee Honey? Well, if you've heard of Sue Bee Honey, Sioux City is hometown of Sue Bee Honey. SIOUX, Sioux City, Iowa. That's where I'll be heading back to my old stomping grounds from college. Excited about seeing my former coach. I'll probably do some live while I'm out there this weekend. getting, going to the football game, all that good stuff, and seeing some great people out there this weekend. So I'll be having a blessed time being able to go back to some old stomping grounds and visiting with some old college teammates that I played football and ran track with in college. Um, so that's exciting. And as I said, that's my uh, painting that one of my friends, she's a Native American from that area, Nebraska, Iowa area, and she was an artist. She painted that photo of me back in college, um, and it's a blessing. I still have that picture. I need to frame it. But yeah, so that's exciting. But as I shared, for some people who may just be joining on YouTube, I'm going to be in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing a live free webinar, um, and hopefully it'll be a series that I'll be starting to even do a podcast. But I will be releasing my digital course on for student athletes and parents on the recruiting process to help streamline that. And I'll even share a quick story from today because I also do some one-on-one coaching, and I had potential client parents call me today about helping and working with them and coaching them through the recruiting process with their son at the junior college level. Um, and like I said, that um, it's when you're at the junior college level, it's similar to being back in high school again in a lot of ways. So I had a good meeting with them and talking with them and explaining them about what I can offer in my background and how I can help um, their situation with their son and going to the next level to a 4-year school. So that went great today, and I appreciated um, meeting with the mother and father about my services and what I can do, and they were excited about hearing that and having some hope about their son still being able to play and going to the next level from junior college football um, to 4-year school to finish out. And so that was great. And like I said, that's what we're all about. I can work with student athletes from fifth grade, that fifth, sixth grade area, starting there because that's where it should start. A lot of people don't realize that that's where it starts. That's where the recruiting process starts. It doesn't start at high school. Okay, we don't wait to start doing recruiting, starting the recruiting process in high school. If you thought that it was only when you get to high school, well, you're incorrect. We start when they get in fifth and sixth grade, and even if they play more than one sport, that's great. That's even better. So no, you don't wait to start your recruiting process in high school. To me, you're late. And I learned this from my own my own mistakes and not having this information growing up. And I wish I did. But now that I know, you know, and I knew better and I did better with my own kids and with other kids that I coached when my son was in middle school. That's when I started it. I should have started it sooner when he was in middle school because I did it about 7th, 8th grade. But it starts about 5th or 6th grade, right? To start getting our kids exposed to whatever sport they play. It starts at that 5th or 6th grade age. And so I'm going to be explaining some of those things on my free webinar, but also um, we'll be giving more information about how you can subscribe, you know, paid subscription with Coach Smith would love the game 24/7 and start working with parents as much as possible to help them through this process because what it's all about is getting multiple offers, multiple opportunities. You want to have options, right? I had both my sons playing baseball and football, right? And it was all about seeing, what sport they love. Um, and I wish I would have got them into track and field more and even soccer or something, but it paid off. And so, but I got both of them playing two sports at least. I didn't want them to play just one sport. They also did music, different things like that to pull their gifts and talents and abilities out. And it wasn't just all about sports. I wanted to be well rounded. Both my wife and I wanted our kids to be well rounded. That's how my father did us. I had played the trumpet and clarinet, and I did sports. Um, and all those things work together. They all work together for our good, and you got to be sure you start early. And that, in my My kids played instruments. My younger son played the drums. Matter of fact, he taught himself how to play the drums before he even got a lesson. He taught himself just from by hearing. He was just that gifted. Um, but I had my kids doing all kinds of things to make sure we found out what gifts and talents they had and what sports they loved. And from what I knew, I wasn't going to be paying for college or college education. I was paying for it up front now, early, right? Um, so it would save me hundreds of thousands of dollars later, right? Because I work at the college level. I'm a college administrator, so I know what it costs for college, and I know, and the things that I learned over my own personal experience, that I knew that hey, I'm going to find out what my kids were good at because that's what's going to be their way to pay for their college education, right? Um, and it just so happens to be sports. Um, and it for my oldest, for my youngest son, he could have used sports, but he was decided he just want to go on the academic route, and he was very smart young man, got academic scholarships because of things that I knew, So I'm not only gonna be able to give you um, information about sports, I'll also be able to give you information about on scholarships on the academic level as well, because I'm a college administrator at a state university. I have 25 coming up on 25 years of experience working as a college administrator or for the Department of Education or for the banking side of higher education. So I have all this experience and knowledge that I'm putting together, all right, for my digital course to help student athletes and parents. Um, and so I just want to share that it's coming. And like I said, before I release my digital course, I'm going to start doing some free webinars. And I'll be doing a free webinar in about 2 weeks. But I will be here over the next several days releasing the date and time that I will be doing that free webinar. So you want to share that and get this information out to um, those folks that you know, fifth and sixth grade, starting at that fifth and sixth grade level, up to the high school level, even junior college, like I shared tonight, and speaking with a family that has a son in junior college is trying to get to the next level at a 4-year school. So I know what it takes from personal experience, myself going through, and the mistakes and things that I didn't know. And then once I learned and put all this together, I use it on my own kids. And I don't have college debt. My kids don't have college debt, right? Because there's a way that you can pay for your child's education, but you got to invest up front now and early, right? You got to do things now. And trust me, you're going to save a whole lot more money now when you start now at this point than on the back end, right? So when I look at the cost of tuition and all that stuff for both my kids, it was well over $60,000 a year for both of their institutions where they went. It just so happens my youngest son went to the institution where I was working at the time, living in Florida. And his last year and a half, because I worked at that institution, he was tuition free for a year and a half. His last year and a half, that was like 20 something $1,000s a semester, just tuition that I didn't have to pay. You know, and I took that job specifically at that school, hoping that he wanted to go there, in which he loved it because it was a smaller 4-year private institution in Florida. And I was working there for 2, maybe 3 years before he graduated high school. And he graduated high school with a 2-year degree and his diploma at the same time. So that also saved money, even though he did go to college for 4 years. He came in with some great academic money, and he came in with the state scholarship, Florida lottery scholarship, and also institutional scholarship money because of his grades and his test scores. Um, and so, but it was almost on average, almost 60 some $1,000s a year for tuition, fees, housing, all that stuff. So, but he came out with only about maybe $10,000 or $12,000 in student loan debt that he's able to pay back, and a little bit of help from mom and dad paying that back and paying that off. Right. My oldest son was blessed to get a scholarship at Boston College. Right, and that was well over 60 something $1,000s a year. But he was on a full scholarship because he had good academics, he had good test scores, and he was a very good athlete. He was one of the top athletes in the state. All right, he was one of the he was the most valuable athlete in the Tampa Bay area as a quarterback coming out, and he was all state. So having that and having multiple offers to play football at the next level, he decided to go to Boston College, the BC and the ACC. And so when you look at those, you're talking well over $300,000 in 4 years for both having two kids in college, right? Um, but it didn't cost me that because we paid up front. I paid for coaching for them in different areas, not just sports, but music, all that. But definitely as my oldest son, when he was in eighth grade, I paid for one-on-one coaching, private coaching for him at quarterback from eighth grade until his freshman year in college. Uh, Coach John Kaleo, awesome. Love that brother, that man for um, even though it cost me money, trust me, it was worth every penny that I paid for him to get that coaching and to have that time, with Coach Kaleo, with his quarterback coach that he had um, from eighth grade all the way through his freshman year in college until he moved and played wide receiver. He moved from quarterback to receiver. But he still would go work out with Coach Kaleo with his quarterbacks and catch passes for, and even still throw the ball as a quarterback. But that investment that I did up front, that we paid for, private school that we paid for, even for both our kids, that was the investment to be sure that what I knew could work and that they could earn academic or athletic scholarships to help pay for their education. That's what I did. We invested. My wife and I, we invested, right? And so that's what I'm trying to help parents understand now, that if you pay and invest now, you'll get a great return on your investment for your student athlete, right? And it'll definitely, when you look at what it costs to pay for a child, and most kids are going to school, it's taking some of them 5 years to graduate. Thankfully, my oldest son graduated in 3.5 years because he went to summer school every summer while he was playing college football. Because he had a plan that he wanted to graduate early so he can get ready for the NFL draft and all that good stuff, and not have to worry about trying to finish college. And so that was his plan, along with several of his teammates. And so you always want to get with some like-minded people. Try to tell student athletes you want to get with like-minded people, and work that plan, have that goal, and he fulfilled that goal. Got his degree in communications from a great academic institution and athletic institution in Boston College and the ACC, and he was able to, pursue his dream without concern about trying to get his degree still. And it's no big deal either if you didn't get it, but I made a point because I graduated in 4 years. I made sure I took extra hours, even when I wasn't supposed to. I did on scholarship because I wanted to graduate in 4 years and do the same thing. And that's what he did. He made sure he graduated in 3.5 years. He did it faster than I did. Um, I went to summer school once. He went every year, every summer for 3 years to graduate. And now he's going on his fifth season, starting with getting ready to start with the Arizona Cardinals this year. Hopefully he'll be activated soon. But yeah, and then my youngest son is doing some big things out in Seattle, Washington, building bridges and um, water treatment plants and things of that nature. Um, he was a computer science major, and now he's working in building bridges, and he wants to go that route with building houses and framing houses and doing what he loves to do, and that's what he's doing, pursuing his dream. Um, but for you parents and students, athletes, you got to invest now. You got to invest. Hey, Coach Harvey, good to have you, brother. Glad to see my old stomping ground, seeing that you holding it down back at Clearwater Central Catholic, um, and having some great success. And we got two young men, as I shared, the Newton brothers, one at Toledo and the other one at Illinois, top D lineman, top wide receiver. Blessed to be a part of coaching those young men. And as I was sharing tonight, the parents and student athletes have to invest in themselves now in every way possible to be the best student athlete they need to be to get those scholarship um, offers and opportunities that they deserve from their hard work. And Coach Harvey is one of those few coaches that put in a lot of work for his student athletes and parents back there at CCC. And so he's very deserving of that success that he continued to keep going and even making better, that he took over from his father-in-law, Coach Davis. Great Coach John Davis, a great coach back in Florida, back in the Tampa Bay area. One of the best coaches that I ever had the pleasure of coaching with and giving me my start coaching. And now uh, his son has took over St. Pete Catholic, and Coach Harvey is taking over CCC. Um, but as I was sharing, it's going to be great to go back to Sioux City, to Morningside, to visit and be a part of that induction, Hall of Fame induction for one of my teammates, and seeing my former coach. Um, but as I was saying, you also, parents and students got to invest in their kids now, and do what they need to do to help them get to the next level and fulfill their dream of being able to play at the next level. And like I said, I invested in both my kids, whether they played sports or not. But for my son who played sports, I invested in getting him a quarterback coach because I couldn't do it. Coach Davis, he had been doing it for years, but he had Coach Kaleo, was one of his young men that he mentored, and was a great quarterback at University of Maryland that my son um, learned a lot from, and I was willing to invest in him being a better student athlete, and when you realize as a parent that you can only take them so far, you got to find somebody, find a great program like CCC or St. Pete Catholic and many other ones, maybe in your area, um, that do a great job in helping groom these young student athletes. And like I said, I'll be doing a free webinar coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'll be releasing that date soon on that free webinar to help student athletes and parents. And then I'll be also giving information about my launching my digital course to help student athletes and parents, because I wish this was something that I had when I was coming up, when I was growing up. Like I said, my father passed away when I was in high school at a young age, and so I missed out on some things. But what I learned and what I took from my own experience, I did for my kids and for a lot of other student athletes that came across my path. Um, and so I'm looking forward to, um, bringing what I've learned to others to make sure that these student athletes and parents know and get all the information and as much as possible. But the recruiting process does not start in high school. It starts before that. It starts at least when they're in middle school, and we get kids exposed to go on to camps. And um, I know like Coach Harvey puts on a camp in the summer for middle school kids to come to CCC and have those kids learn um, things about football and learn what it means to be um, a good teammate, and also how to get better at their position and get some coaching. Um, and so that's are the things that you have to invest in with your kids and getting them involved in things like that, get them involved in camps. But it has to start early and get them exposed so they can see and know what it's going to be like to get to that next level, what kind of work it's going to take, effort it's going to take, to be the best, that they can be. And also get familiar what it means to compete, right? What it means to compete with yourself and what it means to compete against others, right? Because you do have to compete against other people. It doesn't have anything to do with I'm better than this person. No, are you the best student athlete that you've been created to be? That's who you compete with more than anything, yourself. So when you step on that field or that court or whatever it is, whatever sport it is on that track or whatever it is that you play, you want to be the best, version of yourself. If you have high potential, if you should be competing at a high potential, you need to learn what it takes to compete at that high level that you need to be competing at, to get the attention of the college coaches at that level you desire to play at, right? So you need somebody to help you understand what it takes, and also to help parents, understand, because sometimes they're not going to listen to your mom and dad, totally, and they'll come back, you know, but you got to have some other um, people, some other folks. I know that my son played quarterback. I couldn't teach him. I was a running back. I was a wide receiver. I could only teach him so much, right? So I had to find and look for those things to help bring out the best in him. The best quarterback that he was back then that took CCC to their first ever state championship opportunity. when he was a junior in high school, along with his teammates. He was a quarterback that helped do that, to help accomplish that. And like we told those guys, they were the first. They were the first to do it, right? And Coach Harvey, since you on here, we need to get that team, being that they were the first, we got to get them inducted into the Hall of Fame as a team, right? I think that would be cool for that team that took that took CCC to their first ever state championship opportunity. That should be something should be acknowledged for all those guys, to be acknowledged for doing that. And now it's up to you to get the first ever championship in Pinellas County with CCC. I'm hoping you can do it this season. I've been pushing for you, brother. I keep track of all. Every time you guys step on the field, I'm watching. I'm checking it out, right? And I also need to talk to you about getting with you about having Jeff get with you and doing that camp also. And I know he's very interested in doing that. He's just trying to get settled. I don't know if you knew he's with the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. Um, he's with that organization, with that franchise. So we're looking forward to him doing some great things there. Um, but yeah, so I just wanted to take that time to share with you guys a little bit of information about me and what's coming up with Love the Game 24/7. Go to my link tree and you'll be able to get to all my social media platforms. And my link tree name is Love the Game 24_7. Right? You can get to my Facebook, you can get to my YouTube, you can get to my IG, you can get to my TikTok, you can get to my YouTube and see my video on my 6-step method driven, my acronym that talks about what student athletes they need to have that driven mentality. I don't care what sport, I don't care if you're male or female. That's that method that I break down on that video. You can get a free ebook and the video of the six step method driven. If you go to my link tree, it's the first link at the very top. If you click on that link and fill um, out the form, you'll get a email link to download that free ebook, and you'll be able to see the video about the 6-step method driven concept that I give. I know sometime in November I'm coming back to the area to speak at one of the local high schools. One of my friends works at Bogosiego and trying to help speak to some young students, not just athletes, but students, ninth graders. So sometime in November, I'll be coming back to the Bird, St. Pete, to Bogosiego to speak to for one of my classmates that I grew up with. He's an administrator at the high school, and he asks one of his responsibilities is to get some motivational speakers to come in and talk to ninth graders, to encourage them about going to doing what they need to do and getting a higher education beyond high school, some sort of skill. And I know 4-year school is not for everybody, the traditional school. Some kids need to go to a tech program, and that's cool because they can get right into the job market or start their own business in HVAC or plumbing or electrical work. My son even got a 4-year degree, and he's doing that right now. My youngest son, learning framing, and he's going to get his certification for electrician because he wants to build houses. Hey, that's what he wants to do, and he's good at it, and he's making good money doing it right now. So he's doing what he's doing what he loves to do. And so I'm excited for him. But like I said, tonight I'm on YouTube live right now. I'm on Facebook live. I'm on my IG live sharing this information about what Love the Game 24/7 with Coach Smith is coming down. And so look for me soon to share that date and time that I will be doing that free webinar. But I'm telling you folks right now, go to my link tree, Love the Game 24_7. Click on that first link, watch the video, get the free ebook. I'm coming with some stuff for student athletes and parents on how to navigate through this recruiting process. And it starts not in high school. You're late. It starts in 5th and 6th grade. You got to get your kids exposed early on this, especially if you see that your student athlete has that potential, and they got to be self-driven, and you should see that in them right now. They're begging you to let them play whatever sport it is that they love, right? And so it doesn't start in high school. Okay. Coach Harvey would tell you he wouldn't be doing a camp at his high school for middle school kids, if recruiting process started in high school, it starts well before that, guys. Well before that, you got to understand how this thing works. And if your student athlete has any type of potential that you see, you got to start right now. And for those who are maybe latter part of middle school and early part of high school, it's not too late. Just get started. Get going. And sometimes you have to invest. Okay, I told you guys I work in higher ed coming up on 25 years. I would tell you right now, working at the state university, private universities, education is not cheap. And if your child has a skill set that can get them some scholarship money, right? I'll give you an example right now. I work in the financial aid office as an assistant director, and we have about 700 to 800 scholarships that come through our department, not admissions, because a lot of them come through admissions when they get accepted, and some of them come through their degree focus, and then there's some that come through our financial aid office, and we have about 700 to 800 scholarships. And every December 1st, we release information on social media, emails to our students, and you would be surprised of how many of them don't complete the application for a scholarship. Just and it's for all students, whether you're an athlete or not an athlete. And we send out messages when we see people that haven't finished their process and their application by the March 1st deadline that we give them, initial deadline. Then we have another one in June that comes out for mainly returning students, but for new students, um, or those first year students and all students, when we release it in December, we tell them get it done before that March 1st deadline. And we have to send out multiple emails to remind our students to finish applying for it or even start the application. And people don't realize the earliest that you do that application, you put yourself at the top of the list of those scholarships that you may be eligible to apply for. Because we take demographic information and what degree they're pursuing and all those types of things for our scholarship application. And so the earlier you do your application, let me say this again, the earlier you do that application and get it done, you're at the top of that list. So when you're at the top of that list, your application gets seen first. And when those different committees for those 700 to 800 scholarships see your application at the top of the list, you give yourself the opportunity to get that money. And sometimes you might get more than one scholarship that you may be eligible for. So you might get 2 scholarships. And there are times where some students have gotten 2 scholarships, and so, I'm just telling you, we have to scratch and scrounge for students to finish that application to, to apply for those like 700 to 800 scholarships that we give out each year. And the application process starts every December 1st. And we have to send out multiple messages. So, and college is not cheap. It's not, it's expensive, and especially if you're out of state, right? I went to school out of state to Morningside College. It was a private institution. Thank God for Coach Levitt. Coach Levitt started the football program at University of South Florida. But before he became well known, he was at little old Morningside College in Sioux City, Iowa. And he would come back home and recruit talent from the Tampa Bay area and St. Pete mainly, but definitely he would hit all the Tampa Bay area. And then when he made a name for himself, he started that program at University of South Florida. So I just wanted to just give you that information. So look for me to drop that information about the free webinar that's coming. Be sure you share it with your neighbors, your friends down the street, your colleagues that have student athletes, your grandkids, your kids. Share that information about Coach Smith with Love the Game 24/7. Go to the link tree, Love the Game 24_7 on my link tree. Click that first link to get the ebook and watch the video for the 6-step method driven, right? and let's get this return on your investment for your student athlete, right? And like I said, my program is not sports specific. It's for any sport, male or female. I'm going to have some speakers, different speakers, and people come on. Um, and hopefully I can get Coach Harvey, since he likes to jump on here. Maybe I can get him to come on and just talk about what he looks for as a high school coach, right? Drop a little bit of knowledge on parents and student athletes, especially the middle school age kids and parents that need to know this information, right? So I appreciate you guys joining me on whatever platform, for those on my YouTube channel, or if you're on my IG, or if you're on my Facebook watching. I appreciate you guys joining. I'm going to, of course, share this, um, save this video and share it again for those who might have missed it. It'll be out there on those platforms. I'll be dropping it out there. So I appreciate you guys joining. Coach Smith, love the game 24/7. Hey, let's get these kids exposed. Let's get you parents a great return on your investment, and helping your student athlete get multiple scholarship opportunities. Right. Um, Somewhere at some point, if you're a student athlete, you should be able to play at some level, whether it be Division 1, Division 1 AA, which is FCS, Division 2, or Division 3. You know, now the scholarships mainly come from Division 1, 1 AA, FCS, and Division 2. Right? Some of the Division 3 programs work a little bit different. But if you want the for sure multiple scholarship opportunities, you got to start early and get exposed and get your game level, pull out that level at a high level. We got to pull that talent and ability out of you, and you got to be able to show that on video, and you got to be able to show it live. That you don't just have it up here, but you have it physically, mentally. You play at another level. You got to show that you play at a whole nother level compared to most people on that field or that court that you're playing on. You got to show it that you have you play at another speed. Not just cause you physically faster, because some people who may not necessarily be that gifted physically, but because they got it up here, because they study the game, right? Because they love it 24/7. They watch film, they study their opponent, they watch film of themselves, and they make corrections, right? They pick up the keys that they need to pick up so that they can move. And sometimes people might think, man, this kid is fast. No, it's not necessarily that he's fast. Is that he's fast up here mentally and dissecting the game and knowing, because he's watched film, or she's watched film on you guys, and she knows, or he knows the weak points of their opponent, and they take advantage of it because they watch film, they did their study, they put time in, right? And because they put that study time in, they got good study habits in the classroom, and they take those good study habits from the classroom, and they incorporate those good study habits in their sport and being the best them, right? They be the best them at whatever sport they're playing. They know how to train right, right? They know what techniques they need to work on. Like I said, I wasn't 6 feet tall, so I focused on my strengths, and didn't focus so much on my weaknesses. I couldn't make myself taller, but I could get on. I did run track to make sure I was fast, one of the fastest in the state, one of the fastest. Um, I ran 22 flat in the 200 meters as a junior. You know, and I know if I would have focused more on track, and because I was playing two sports, but I knew I focused on when I was in track, I was focused on track, but I also did focus on track so it could help me be a better football player as well, right? And I did a little bit of basketball also, but I ran as a junior. I ran 10.8 flat in the 100 meters as a junior, 22 flat. I was one of the top in the state, in track and field. You know, and so when you can excel in multiple sports, you make yourself valuable to a program, because they know you've been putting work in when you can excel. You don't have to be, the best, but if you're one of the best in your sport, if you're one of the best and you're competing at a high level and you're being the best you make yourself valuable to get those multiple scholarship opportunities. Okay. All right. So appreciate you guys. I will be dropping that date and time on that free webinar. So be looking for that soon. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. Appreciate y'all listening. Share it with your friends, co-workers, colleagues, enemies. If they got a student athlete and you're trying to get a better relationship with somebody and you know they got a student athlete, hey, tell them you need to listen to Coach Smith. All right. Okay. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you until next time.